이제.
왜? 안 뒤집었어.
해봐 해봐.
믿어.
진짜.
하나
둘,
셋.
셋.
안 치고 아빠는 너 이제.
자리 잡았어. 삼세들 잘라줘야 돼.
삼촌은 요것만 먹어.
그거 뭐 나발이 먹을 수
봐봐. 먹기. 봐봐. 쟤네한테 이거 던져주면은 안 먹고 쟤네가 먹어.
간다 이제 배부른가 봐. 찍을게 엄마가.
내가 먼저 이기면
아, 이거 출발.
저거 큰 거야?
아니 그 앞인 것 같은데.
한참 가야 돼. 사람이 아까보다 많아.
수녀님들도 보고.
여기 수송복한 수송 카페도 있고 야 뒤로 넘어지. 여기 뭐가
춤춘다 춤춘다. 형 간다 형 간다. We have like 3 parks. 올라. 어? 어떤 건 유리바닥이고 어떤 건 아니고 그래. 그때처럼 가격이 틀린가 보다. 뭐 그럼 그게 다? 저거야.
빨리 가자 그럼.
승민아 저 배야. 우리 탈 거야 저거. 일로 와봐. 여기 여기. 입에 타는 거 입에. 하자 빨리 승민아. 두의 과거.
했었다.
거미 왜 왔대?
I'm on it. I know what's going on.
아빠 됐다. 꽂아줄게 형이.
Outside Atlanta.
형이
Roswell.
엄청나게 빠른 차가.
Hello everyone and welcome aboard Shoreline Sightseeing Skydiving.
Trips, two men by the names of Jacques Marquette and Louis Joliet were coming up in Mississippi, and they were told of a portage that could be found. It's a little section of land. They could take your boat and drag it from one river to the other, from Des Plaines River to Chicago River, essentially branching the Great Lakes with the Mississippi. But it wasn't until about 100 years after that we had our first non-indigenous resident. His name, Jean-Baptiste Point, of Haitian ancestry. He used to live just down the river, but guess what? This plot of land here on the right-hand side is going to be named after him, Du Sable Park. I'll show you exactly where he lived a bit further down. But as we kind of leave from Navy Pier, straight ahead of us, we have three flags, and hopefully the wind will cooperate. U.S. flag on the very top, state flag Illinois beneath. And then to the right of that is going to be the flag of Chicago. 4 red stars, 2 blue stripes, 3 white stripes. You've probably seen it throughout the city. You've probably seen it tattooed on somebody. There's a lot of pride. The stripes on here, well, the 2 blue stripes, those represent 2 different bodies of water. You've got Lake Michigan, the Chicago River. 3 white stripes, different neighborhoods, north side, south side, west side. No east side, that's a lake, nobody lives there that I know of. 4 red stars, those are 4 different events that shaped us. Number 1 would be the settlement of Fort Dearborn, first military settlement back in 1803. The second star, that is the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, which I'll tell you about a bit later on. We're actually going to pass by where the fire started, so I figured that'd be a good point to kind of dive into that. Third star is the World's Fair of 1893, the Columbian Exposition, and the 4th star is also World's Fair 1933. That was important because it was held here during the Great Depression for 2 years, so it made so much money the first year they had it for a second. The World's Fair of 1893, though, that was the big one. That's the first time the world saw electricity being used to power our fairgrounds, thanks to Nikola Tesla. He beat out Edison for the bid. Also, the first time the world saw Cracker Jacks, Aunt Jemima's pancakes, brownies, and PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. If you haven't had one of those before, and you're a fan of mediocrity, have at it. It's like $2, comes in a can, gets the job done. But this World's Fair is more important to us, not because of PBR, not because of electricity, but because of the Great Chicago Fire. So for right now, just know this. In 1871, the Great Chicago Fire burned this city down in 3 days. In 20 years, we built back up. By 1893, this city is bigger, better than before. We're very happy, very proud of that. We want to show the world how proud we were and what we're going to do the World's Fair. But we have some competition in the form of New York City. Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, St. Louis, they want to host the World's Fair. So we sent our representatives across the U.S. to speak very highly, and we got it. Millions of people came to visit, over 20 million visitors. Some of those population and other city works, while Upper Wacker Drive will be open air for street traffic and pedestrian traffic, creating a Paris on the prairie. So a lot of influence we had in the early 1900s came from Europe, in our infrastructure and our buildings. We'll see that a bit later on. One of the big things on that plan in 1909 was parkland, just because this was a pretty rough place to live. We're talking about the early 1900s, second industrial revolution, the city's building. It's growing, but there's also a lot of pollution, which has a negative effect on people here. Alcoholism, crime, violence.